Yep. Well, hello YouTubers. Um, it's Eskimo time here, and I think that the idea of making a YouTube update out here was a bit of a mistake. Let's go indoors. Well, hello YouTubers. We're indoors now. Boy, it's cold out there. Really cold. It's extreme winter in Stockholm. Well, for Stockholmers at least, meaning that subway barely works and buses, not really at all. Lots of snow, just as it's supposed to be in the winter, but still, we always get so surprised when it happens. This tasted a bit better before before I warmed my frozen toes in it, but still. It is rather nice day today, but of course it's very cold. Yeah, let's try to warm up. Um, I'm going to show you some records, and some of them are a bit more sunny than, well, you might expect this time of year, because I've been buying quite a lot of interesting records with the Brazilian music, among other records. I've been to Bromma, where I usually like. Bromma is like Stockholm's answer to Rio de Janeiro, at least when it comes to music, because I tend to find a lot of samba in the surroundings of Abrahamsberg, Bromma. But first I'm going to show you some of these I haven't listened to yet, but I got them today. The reason why I went out today was to collect a parcel containing some records, and this is one of them. Martha Reeves, The Best of My Life. No, The Rest of My Life. On Arista from 1976. Martha Reeves, of course, well known for the Vandellas in the 1960s. Continued to have a very nice and fairly successful solo career later. I haven't heard any of her solo material before, but this looks very promising. If nothing else, for the seductive cover, I'm sure the music will be quite seductive as well. Okay, yeah, then this is a nice thing here. From Mother Earth, Tracy Nelson, Doing It My Way. It's from 1978, I think. This is a limited edition, direct to disc recording. I think it was issued as like a more of an ordinary issue as well. This is still sealed. Look, and it has never been played. So I got it for a very low price at an auction. And I'm a great fan of Mother Earth's albums. I think I have all of them. I have some of Tracy Nelson's solo material, but not this one. So it was a bit of a bargain to me. And as I said, it's in a plastic bag and it's sealed, and it has this collector's edition. It's numbered. Ew, it's number 05157 serial number. So one shouldn't open the seal and play it. Yeah, you should. It's a record. You should play records. Records get sad if you don't play it. Okay. Next one is this is an example of the samba that I've been collecting lately. This is a record played by a band called Explosão do Samba, and the whole series is called Explosão do Samba. This is number 7, and it's from 1982. Well, we have music by Jorge Ben, we have Paulo de Carvalho, but it is some sort of studio group, I guess, who are behind this. And we have a fairly undressed girl on the cover, just as it shall be in these unforgiving times. I haven't listened to it because it was in the parcel I got today. I didn't get this at Bromma, but I could have if I had found it. But very nice, very nice. Okay, over to the records I found. Sorry. Over to the records I found in Bromma. First of all, Front Street by the SO Steel Band. And this was a band from Bermuda. Well, originally from Trinidad, called SO Steel Band. They were sponsored by SO for many years. And well, what do they have? They have tenor pans, double tenor pans, echo phones, bass pans, drums, conga drums, and cellos. And of course, it's a steel band orchestra, and I thought it looked really cool cover. And it is actually signed by several of the members. This is from 1970, and also I think what really made me interested enough to get it was the songs covered here, like Mozart Symphony Number 40, Bridge Over Troubled Water with vocals by Neville Painter, and Something, and Ride Your Donkey. Well, that's an original, I think. Everybody's Talking, Love Story, Sweet Caroline, like very popular songs from around 1970. Oh, My Sweet Lord, also. Well, apart from the Mozart Symphony Number 40, it is the songs that were most popular back in 1970. Alas, I think it is not that well recorded, or maybe it's a poor pressing or whatever, but the steel pans sound quite distorted, and I get the impression that it would be rather difficult to record steel pans. They have a very distinct sound. I guess you have to mic them in a very certain manner to get the best sound out of them on a recording. I didn't think it was that well recorded here, and I listened to it, and I mean it's well played and so on, but the sound quality isn't the best. It's a Canadian pressing, by the way. It's a fun fact. A Canadian pressing of a, and I think they were popular in Canada as well. But I have to say, I like the vocals of Neville Painter, who was also the drummer of the band. Really great singer, and I have to check whether he made any recordings on his own or with other bands, because really good voice. I liked it a lot. Sorry, I had a coughing break and now I have a coffee break. I am alright, but I was out today and cold. Yeah. Alright, over to something more hot. And we talk about the soul singer Margie Joseph. I got her third album, and it's called just Margie Joseph. It's on Atlantic. I bought her first two albums in the same store in Bromma a couple of years ago. They were issued on Volt, I think, on Volt Records. I like her style of singing, and both tough and cool and sensual at the same time, just as the cover gives a hint about that. Right, over to some Swedish music, and we have the Swedish legendary rock band Made in Sweden. I was happy to find their live album recorded at Golden Circle in 1970. I've been having MP3 copies of this, and so I heard some of the tracks, but I was happy to find my own vinyl copy now, with a great guitar player Jojje Wadenius and the drummer Tommy Borgud and bass player Bo Häggström. Their playing style was amazingly good and really groovy, so to speak. So I'm very happy I found this, and it's a good live recording too. It's a well recorded by the engineers from Swedish radio, so it's not that strange that it sounds good. Okay, some more Brazilian music. Elsa Costa, Abbracciami forte amor, on Epic. It's from 1973. And I have to say, I know very little about this singer. I've been looking for information about her online, but I haven't been that lucky. This record isn't available on Discogs, on the Discogs website, and I found that a bit peculiar. So it's probably a rather unknown and scarce record, but it's very good. She's a great singer, and I have this love for the Brazilian female voices, and I hadn't heard her before, but then it seems as if she's a bit forgotten today, even in Brazil. Over to somebody who's not forgotten, and here we talk about style and grace. Clara Núñez, this album on Odeon from 1975, Claridade. Claridade. Like a timeless Brazilian arrangement, and soft but very melodic singing by Clara Núñez. And I've heard several of Clara Núñez's other albums, and I was happy to find this because I didn't have it before. And it's on Odeon, I think I said that. Okay, over to some records I haven't listened to yet, but I am familiar with the artists. First of all, we have Edu Lobo, Par Edu Lobo on Barclay Records. It's a French issue, and great singer and songwriter, I think. Yeah, songwriter too. I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard some other songs by him, so it'll be interesting to listen to later. And another good Brazilian singer and songwriter that I've been admiring for a long time is Chico Buarque. This is some sort of compilation album, As Músicas de Chico Buarque, because I recognize some of the tracks on this album, but it was quite cheap, so I bought it anyway. And yeah, Chico Buarque, great singer-songwriter. And Alcione, Morte de un Poeta, Death of a Poet. I haven't listened to this, but I get an impression that I will really love it. I love the cover, and I have heard some of Alcione's other records, but not this one, or recordings anyway by her. And yeah, I can't really say that much more, but I like also the title, Death of a Poet. I think that Morte de un Poeta, that must be Death of a Poet. But finally, the record. I've been talking quite briefly about these records, just skimming through them in some cases, but now the last record that I'm going to show you is a record that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I'm very happy that I found it. And I would like to plug this artist a bit because she seems to be a bit forgotten. It's Elaine Machado, or Machado. Looks like this. This is Jeito Maneiro, which I think means a bit like cool style or something like that. This is an album from 1986. Well, I think it's recorded in 86. And the reason why I'm showing you this one is because back in the early 90s, I bought a very simple and cheap CD compilation called, I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called something like Brazil Stars. It was probably some sort of music club issue, and where you had lots of great tracks with many of the legends of Brazilian music, like Vinícius de Moraes, Jorge Ben, and probably Maria Bethânia. I don't recall all the artists. Probably Gal Costa, not sure. But one of my favorite tracks back then was a track called Muenda, and it was sung by a singer called Elaine Mercado. And after that, I mean, I was so fond of that track that I even stole it and made my own song with Swedish lyrics back then. Really crappy. I'm not going to sing it to you now, but just shows that I found this song so inspiring. And of course, it's 25 years ago, so it's probably so far away in time, so it doesn't really matter now. But anyway, when I started buying Brazilian vinyl and started looking, I remember this song and I remember the singer, but I had no idea what she looks like. I had no idea where the record was recorded and, well, anything. And when I started looking online some years ago because I wanted to find the track, I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on the streaming sites. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywhere. And this CD compilation, of course, is long since gone. I don't have it anymore. But now I found it. Muenda is the first track of this album. And the rest of the album is great too. She has probably not the most beautiful voice. It is a bit husky, but it swings. You really feel like you want to dance when you listen to the music. Very typical Brazilian, with the typical Brazilian rhythm instruments and a cool bass playing and lots of guitars, and also a big choir that likes sings answers to Elaine Mercado. Great choir singing, and yeah. Also, I've been trying to find some more information about it, but mostly I have been written in Portuguese, and I'm not that familiar with that price. I haven't started with any Google Translate yet, but I don't think there's been that much written about her anyway, even in Portuguese. She only made 2 albums, this one and another one, I think 2 or 3 years later, and that's it. And I think it's a bit of a pity because she's a great singer. I've seen some pictures on Google Image of her in later years, so I get the impression that she may be still performing, maybe still active as an artist, and well, that's very good. But I get the impression that she's a bit unknown and a bit forgotten. And if you find this album, look it up because it swings. It's a great fun samba, both the faster numbers where you really want to dance and the slower numbers where you really feel like, yeah, just grooving with the rhythm and the lovely vocals. And I think now I'm even warm enough to, well, say thanks for watching and see you soon again. Toodaloo, toodaloo. Yeah, I do think the technical term for this weather is fucking cold.